Imagine this. You're a WWII soldier marching for miles with a heavy pack and stiff new boots. You might think your biggest problem is the enemy or the weather, but it's not. The real agony is inside your boots' blisters. A tiny blister can feel like a hot nail, turning even the toughest soldier into a limping wreck. The pain distracts, slows you down, and can cripple an entire platoon. If the feet fail, everything fails. Millions of men, all issued with brand new, factory-fresh leather boots. Stiff, unforgiving, and designed for durability, not comfort. Medics spent more time treating blisters than battle wounds. A soldier who can't walk is a soldier who can't fight. While generals planned grand strategies, the foot soldier fought a personal war against his own footwear. Relief wasn't found in stores or fancy insoles. Soldiers had to rely on old wisdom and ingenuity to tame the beast on their feet. Why were these boots so terrible? It started with the material-thick, vegetable-tanned cowhide. Durable, yes, but brutal on feet. Mass-produced boots meant no custom fit. One size 10 was not like another. Rigid, uniform, and indifferent to individual feet, they created pressure, points, and hotspots. Soldiers marched through mud, rivers, and heat. Wet leather would swell, then dry even harder. Sweat softened skin, making it vulnerable to friction. Every step meant slipping heels, rubbing toes, and grinding seams. Annoyance turned to pain, then to blisters. The result? A pandemic of misery on every front. Soldiers faced a perfect storm of bad design, harsh conditions, and human biology. A 10-mile march could become a journey into personal hell. Soldiers had to innovate to survive their boots. The solution? A simple, if disgusting, method passed down by veterans. First, soak the boots. Stand in a river or puddle until the leather is saturated. Water softens the hide, making it pliable. Next, the infamous step, urinate into the boots. Urine's urea and ammonia break down the leather's oils and tannins, softening it faster than water alone. It was crude battlefield chemistry, but it worked. Finally, put the wet boots back on, without socks, and wear them as they dry. As the leather dries, it shrinks and moulds perfectly to the foot. This custom fit eliminated gaps and pressure points. Soldiers turned their worst enemy into their best ally. It was resourceful, if a little smelly. The result? Boots that finally fit. Why did this odd ritual work? It's all about leather's structure. Leather is a mesh of fibres bound by oils and proteins, stiff when dry, unforgiving on feet. Water penetrates and swells the fibres, making leather softer and more pliable. But water alone isn't enough. Drying can make boots even stiffer. Enter urine, ammonia and urea, break down tannins and proteins, making leather permanently supple. Soldiers were, in effect, re-tanning their boots on the battlefield. The final step, wearing the boots as they dried, moulded them to each foot's unique shape. The heel cup tightened, the toe box stretched, seams flattened. The result, a boot as unique as a fingerprint. No more generic factory-made misery, just a personalised piece of equipment, science and necessity working together. This technique changed everything for soldiers. Before, every step was agony. After, boots moved with the foot, not against it. The heel stayed locked, blisters vanished, and soldiers could march naturally. Energy was saved, morale boosted, and speed increased. A platoon with broken-in boots arrived faster and in better shape. Combat readiness improved dramatically. It wasn't just about comfort, it was about survival. Taking control of their boots gave soldiers a sense of agency in a chaotic world. It was a small victory, but a vital one. The confidence to march without pain was a powerful weapon. Properly conditioned boots could mean the difference between success and failure. In war, even small advantages mattered. Today, we have sprays, creams and high-tech boots. No urine required. Modern boots are lighter, more flexible and designed for comfort from day one. The need to break in boots is less, but not gone. Modern conditioners are clean and effective, but WWII soldiers had only what was available. Their method was fast and resourceful. The core principle remains wet forming. Even now, people soak new boots and wear them as they dry for a custom fit. The difference? We skip the unpleasant step, using time or modern products instead. The old wisdom survives, just in a cleaner form. Necessity drove innovation, and the lesson endures. Sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective. Veterans' memoirs are full of these practical tricks. One young private, limping in new boots, was taught the secret by a veteran sergeant. Horrified but desperate, he followed the steps, and the next day his boots felt like part of him. He marched pain-free and passed the method to others. In Burma, British soldiers made the ritual routine, believing the ammonia also fought jungle rot. Whether or not it worked as an antiseptic, it boosted morale. These stories are about more than boots. They're about survival and camaraderie. Passing on this knowledge was a rite of passage, a sign of trust. Helping a comrade fix his boots meant helping him survive. Small acts of kindness had life or death consequences. The method was a bond between soldiers. Practical wisdom, shared and cherished. You might think, I have Gore-Tex and memory foam, why care? But the lesson is timeless. Wet-forming, stubborn leather boots still works today. Soaking and wearing new boots as they dry custom moulds them, saving weeks of pain. It's old-world wisdom modern life has forgotten. Anyone with stiff leather shoes can benefit. Knowing leather can be shaped empowers you to fix, not discard, your gear. It's a small act of rebellion against our throwaway culture. Police soldiers depended on their equipment and learned to adapt. Today, caring for your boots is about investing in quality and making it last. The principle, look after your gear and it will look after you. The method may have changed, but the value remains. A good pair of boots is still worth the effort. A boot is just a tool, until it isn't. We soldiers learned the hard way that the right boots could mean survival. Their story is a testament to ingenuity and grit. Footwear could decide the outcome of a march, a battle, even a war. Today, we enjoy comfort they had to fight for. The knowledge to mould leather is powerful, connecting us to our gear and our past. Whether soldier, hiker or worker, the lesson is the same. Care for your feet, and they'll carry you far. Well-maintained boots were a soldier's silent ally. Next time you lace up, remember those who fought for comfort with whatever means they had. A good pair of boots, properly cared for, can make all the difference.